Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where the stakes may be high, but in reality it's really just an interstellar space road trip. I am Bill and this is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Oh, I'm doing just lovely. It's a little hot in this room. I did not have a fan to bring over, so it's kind of hoping for a breeze, and so far it doesn't seem to want to give it to me. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's been hot these last few days. Like the worst
We had
is
a
when
couple
you're
more
just
hot
like
days this week too.
yeah. No, the worst is when you're just like sitting there and you just feel yourself sweating and you're like, this is great.
Yep.
Ugh.
So how was your 4th of July?
Well, the first 2 days it was 100 degrees, and then the second 2 days it was downpouring the entire time.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah, and they still had fireworks. That didn't stop the fireworks.
That's about right.
There was a point in the middle of the night where they were setting off fireworks, and there was a lightning storm. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I'm like, that actually sounds pretty awesome.
It would have been more if I wasn't trying to sleep. But
oh yeah. What time was it?
It was like midnight. People are stupid. Like, what are we doing?
I'm pretty sure I was still up at midnight that night.
Wasn't so much I was trying not to. I don't know. I was tired. It had been a long couple of days because I had forcibly been given a 5-day weekend by the company, so I was off from the Thursday up until the Monday. So I spent most of it. I did not manage my time well during that break at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
No, I spent most of it not accomplishing anything. It's kind of sad in hindsight.
Forgot to silence my phone. My bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, friggin'. So I fell down another rabbit hole.
Oh boy.
I picked up another Pokemon ROM hack.
Okay.
I started playing Emerald Rogue, where it takes Emerald and it's not the same story and like game as Emerald, but it's the same code or whatever.
Okay.
And it turns it into a roguelike.
Oh, that I don't know if that's fun or not. That sounds interesting.
It's fun, but it can be frustrating at times. Like I haven't been able to get past the 5th gym leader because it also like kind of randomizes the gym leaders because it treats it the same way you would treat like any other roguelike, like Hades, for example, where you're going through like several, I guess in Pokemon terms, would be routes, and then you get to the end of the route, and then you fight the gym leader, and then it starts over again. And
now, is it is it a roguelike, like a classic roguelike, where if you lose to a gym leader, that's it, run over, you have to start from the beginning again?
I mean, there is still like some carryover stuff. Like you essentially have like a hub world. It's like you're basically building your own town, like Animal Crossing style.
Okay.
And there is like a little patch of grass there that you can catch Pokemon at and like stick them in the box. But you can only take one with you.
Okay.
It works similarly to a Nuzlocke, where as soon as that Pokemon faints, it's gone.
Okay, so it's a semi roguelike. It's not like a true roguelike where if you lose, you're back to the beginning.
So you still get some stuff. One cool feature that I did like is that like if you go into a run and you have, say, 5 Pokeballs and 5 potions when you start that run, you could go through and like find a bunch of other stuff and use them all and like have nothing by the end of it. But when you come back to the town, you'll still have those 5 Pokeballs and 5 potions. And since you're building up your town, you can also add like a mart, so you can go and like you can buy potions and stuff, whatever. And as long as you have it when you're going in to like doing a run, you'll get it all back by the end of it.
Oh.
And it also kind of circumvented things like for instance, trade of all Pokemon. They like added an item called a link cable that evolves those Pokemon. So, like stuff like that, just to make it,
I know a lot of ROM hacks have that. That one's kind of like a recurring ROM. Well, not it's. I don't think it's always called a link cable. They have like ways around that now.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's been pretty fun. It's pretty addicting. It can be frustrating at times. There's definitely a difficulty spike after the 4th gym leader.
Okay.
And also like leveling your guys like really isn't like a thing, because no matter what, like, because it caps your level depending on what section of the run you're on. So if your level caps at 15 when you're going up against the 1st gym leader, and then it goes up 10 each time.
Okay.
And you can like, jumble up like what kind of moves you want to give them and stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, but it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. I might stream it one of these days.
Nice. I haven't done much gaming. Just the recent gaming news has kind of killed my interest in gaming lately.
What do you mean?
All the Microsoft and Sony stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
My interest in gaming hasn't been particularly high, aside from like my 3DO stuff. But
I'm kind of staying separate from a lot of the more current stuff, but mostly the retro stuff. So
yeah, I've tried to avoid it, but when I do a news segment on 3DO, I kind of have to talk about it. I also joined a guest Comcast podcast. Me and a friend Tony, we were talking about it a little bit in depth. Other than that, though, it's I've been mostly on a comic binge, like a hard comic binge. I think I've read, if I'm counting so if I'm reading by trades, technically, if I'm counting the actual issues within them, I've read over probably 200 issues in the past 2 weeks.
Okay, and trades usually have about 5 or 6 issues.
Depends on the trade. Some have more, some have less. So I finally found. So I've been trying to track down like the complete Flash run, basically all the trades from the Wade run up until now, and I finally found the final, all the ones that are available. That is, I finally found the last one of the Williamson run that had been eluding me forever, because a lot of those trades there was a point where like trades were kind of harder. They weren't made in as big demand, so they're kind of harder to find. And one of them was like eluding me. Like it was like $100 for like the longest time, this singular volume. Yeah. It finally came down to like 40, and I was like, fuck it, 40's acceptable. And knowing my luck, they're gonna find like 1,000 of them somewhere, and it's gonna drop down to like affordable prices now. But I got that one, so now I have the complete, like, all the Flash stuff from Wade's run up until now that's been put into trade.
I had a similar experience when I was collecting the Dragon Ball Z VHSs, but I still haven't finished. I have a lot of it. Like I think I have up through like the early Cell stuff. Nice. But I happened to get a tape of it was the tape when Gohan first goes Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. Nice. And that one was like over $100 for a long ass time, and I ended up getting it for like about 40, like you said. It was one of those things where it's just like, I really shouldn't spend money on this right now, but I'm not gonna get a better deal than this. So yeah, that was like when I was collecting Kimi ni Todoke in the final 2 volumes. I paid like $100 for the final 2, like together. Jesus. And then of course Anime Boston has them both, and I'm like, yeah, of course. But at retail. Yeah. But going back to that though, because I finally finished the Flash run, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna finally read this thing entirely, because I had gotten up to Flashpoint, and I was like really putting off reading the New 52 stuff. But now that I have like all the stuff after that, like up until modern, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's finally sit down and read this shit. And so I read Flashpoint again. Still a great story. The
the more I read Flashpoint, the more I realize that did not have to be the reboot story. Like, and it clearly was written when it was started writing. It was clearly not intended to be. Like, you can tell that was definitely like an 11th hour change.
Yeah,
especially because it literally happens right at the end of the fucking story. But that's besides the point. But yeah, I got through Flashpoint. Flashpoint's still good. And then I finally said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna read the New 52 run." I gotta say, the Francis Manipul, that was the guy that did the art on the Dastardly Death of the Rogues arc in the reboot book you had.
Like the watercolory.
Yeah, the really pretty art. He's the guy that did that, but he's also a writer. Him and I forget the co-writer. I think it was like Brian Botticello. They did a run for four volumes, and I was reading it, and I'm not gonna lie. If that run was completely like a self-contained, like Elseworlds, like Earth One book, that would be a really solid Barry story.
Okay.
The problem is because it's technically in canon as the New 52 era was, it's hard to read that now because most of it has been completely just wiped off the face of the earth. Like pretty much everything that was established in that run has been just retconned out. Like aside from some of his police department like buddies, because they made a whole big deal about he was obviously because of stupidity they couldn't have him with his traditional love interest of Iris West. So instead they were like, we're going to put him with this other woman who was like one of his love interests from the past, Patty Spivot, for like the entire for like the first half of the run. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever, they're doing their thing. I know in hindsight it's going to get erased and put back to the status quo eventually. But what's funny is eventually when you get to the Robert Venditti arc, which he was the writer that took over after Botticello left. And the book takes a fucking nosedive in quality. Oh, holy shit! It's not Venditti's. Yeah. It's not Venditti's fault. It's more DC in general being dumb. But the second right around that run is when the Flash TV show came out. And the Flash TV show really made it apparent that Iris was going to be Endgame.
Yeah.
Because status quo. So they just straight up, they basically just yeet Patty from the book entirely. Like she just randomly like leaves. She's like, I can't do it. She basically is like,
she's like, I got a job somewhere else.
Well, what happens is like an evil version of Wally shows up. Not Wally. Didn't exist at the time. Of Barry shows up and like, she all of a sudden, even though she's known Barry's identity since the start, she's also like, I'm too afraid. I can't be near you. Bye. And just leaves the book like forever. Never comes back. She still hasn't come back to this day.
Wow.
And basically they just are like, Iris, here, step on down, even though we have to now like figure out how we're going to fix this fucking mess we've made. And then they introduced Wally 2. And the Wally 2 introduction wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because I'd heard horror stories about how badly handled that character was. He's actually not that bad. Especially in the hindsight of knowing now that he isn't actually the Wally West. He's this other Wally West.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I got through that. It was fine. It was like, whatever. And then I started before I started the Williamson run, I had to take a detour over to Titans 2016 because I had to figure out what the actual Wally was doing. Because he was over there for a while. Which was interesting. I forgot that they tried to make Wally Donna a thing at one point.
Huh.
Yeah, it was 2 issues and it was dumb. And thankfully they acknowledge even in the story that like, yeah, this was bad. Like we were just going through a lot of shit. But yeah, I just finished the Williamsons run last night. And it is over 100 issues. Like it is a long run. Because it goes through the entire rebirth era before they basically undid the New 52 entirely. And it is one of the most interesting books because the entire book is super interesting, like an original, but it also acts as a giant fic for like the Flash legacy. Because he basically goes out of his way to basically fix all the shit that was left behind. Like he's like, all right, we got to bring back all the Flashes, all the legacy characters. And basically the end game of the run was putting Wally back as the main Flash.
Okay.
Which they do in his final issue. Or, well, technically it was a spin-off tie into another series, but it was the final issue that Williamson wrote, Flash related. And I just started the Adams run, which is the Wally's Great Return, and my God, it is so fun to read that again.
So all right, so I guess in hindsight, it's not that bad. It's just like, all right, so we're just gonna have Barry back for a little while. He's gonna do his thing. They're gonna do some weird stuff, and then we're just gonna pass it back to Wally.
In hindsight, yes. The thing that annoys me,
I'm sure month to month, it must have been a lot more frustrating.
It was over a decade when you actually break it down, because New 52 was 2011. Wally didn't become the main Flash again until 2021. So it was literally a decade.
Well, to be fair, Wally was the main Flash for what, 20 years? You know,
he was, and that's fine. But he also got yeeted out of existence for over 10. So,
yeah. Wow.
See, the thing that upsets me is we had to wait 10 years to get back his status quo, like from before. So, you know how when Rebirth ends, there's that whole status quo of like all the Flashes are together, and there's going to be like 2 Flashes, and it's like a whole family kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that gets yeeted out of existence for those 10 years. When Wally finally becomes the main Flash again with the Adams run, we're finally getting that. Like, that's exactly where we get left off. Like, he's even got the same suit again. He's got the kids, like everything, all the like Max Mercury, Jay, all of them are back. Bart, although we now have Wally too as Kid Flash.
Okay.
And it's basically like as much as like I don't, in hindsight, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. There's still a whole like, we got robbed of like Wally family stuff for 10 years, and I'm still bitter about it, because the family dynamic is like the best part about Wally's character.
That's fair.
Because rather than Barry doing his wisecracks, instead we get Wally making dad jokes, and it's really funny. like he's got an entire arc where he's like with his daughter, and they're going to a daddy-daughter dance, and there's like this like guy he's got like this like evil dream helmet that like takes people's nightmares and makes like monsters out of them.
Okay.
By putting everyone to sleep, but because Flashes have their super metabolism, they're not affected by it. So like they're basically just like running around, and they like steal the dream helmet and have his daughter Iris make like a bunch of like her own dreams, but they're not nightmares, and then they're fighting. It's the most entertaining shit ever. And then they end it by going to Paris to have their daddy-daughter dance in Paris. No. Which is fun.
That is fun.
It's a cute book. It's the best. It's the Flash run that we needed, and it's a shame it got ended prematurely.
Yeah, so since the last time we recorded, I picked Titans back up.
The series?
Yeah. I finally decided to give that a watch. I was still kind of underwhelmed, like, shortly after picking it back up. They were doing a Deathstroke story arc in the second season.
How original.
I know, right? Yeah, because first season Trigon, second season Deathstroke. Whoa.
The car can't believe
it. Big shocker.
How original.
But I will say there was a turnaround for me about halfway through season 2, because they decided to throw Superboy in the mix.
Yeah, he does join.
And they did. And it was actually really cool how they did it too, because it was like this big thing going on with.
It's Connor Superboy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So essentially, what had happened, like the lead up to it, was they encountered this young girl who was having a bunch of issues, whatever, and she, they ended up taking her in. Turns out she's Rose Wilson. She's Slade's daughter.
Yep.
And it's like this whole like thing that's going on. Like her and Jason kind of have a little bit of a thing going on.
Jason's got Jason.
Yeah, he's around.
God, I forgot how fucking weird that lineup was.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Jason's like doing his thing, like they're trying to like make this whole plan to fight Deathstroke. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get him. I found him, I'm gonna go get him. And of course he gets kidnapped, and like there was like a whole scene where Dick shows up and he's like, you don't want him, you want me, because we have this whole history. Let him go, you can kill me, do whatever you want to me, whatever. And Deathstroke's like, no. He's like, no, I'm gonna kill him in front of you, and then you're going to be sad.
You can't kill him. He already died.
Well, I'm getting there. So he kicks Jason out the window, and they're on like a skyscraper. So he's fallen, and that's where the episode ends. Next episode, the entire episode is spent on Superboy, and he breaks out of Cadmus. He's running around like doing his thing. And and like eventually he ends up at the childhood home of Lex Luthor, because apparently he also has some memories of Lex and Superman.
Sure.
Yeah, so he ends up at Lex Luthor's dad's house, and there's like a whole scene there, whatever. And then he ends up taking off because all the Cadmus people are after him, and he's like trying to like escape everybody. He gives them the slip, and as he's walking by, he sees Jason falling from the building, and he jumps up and catches him. And that's like where the episode ends in that episode. It's like that was a really cool way of like bringing him into the mix, like having him, like having that big cliffhanger, no pun intended, and then fucking having a whole episode just on this random, well, not random, but this other character that wasn't in the show up to this point. And then all of a sudden he's just there to save him. Like at the end of that one, like that was actually really well done. And from that point onward, I started to come around a little bit on the show.
Which is weird because most people say it goes to shit in the second half, but each his own, I guess.
Well, see, leading into season 3, because by the end of season 2, Jason's like, he's fed up with all the Titans. He hates them all. Well, not hates them, but he's like, he's tired of their bullshit and he's ready to leave.
Typical Jason Todd behavior.
So he goes back to Batman. They're doing their thing, whatever. Season 3 starts with him, like Batman's on like a plane from Paris or something. He's coming back. Jason calls him up. He's like, I found the Joker. I found him. And he's like, don't do anything. I'll be there in like 10 hours, however long it's going to be. And he's like, it's Jason being Jason's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to go get him. So I'm sure you can guess where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do Death in the Family in Red Hood in that season.
But he's already Red Hood.
Well, in this continuity, he becomes Red Hood during that season. So I don't know the comic version of the story. So without going into too much detail, was Scarecrow involved?
In Death of the Family or
both?
He was not in Death of the Family. Death of the Family is fucking weird when you reread it now, because like there is actually a straight up plot point where the Joker becomes an ambassador to some like Middle Eastern country, and that's why they can't do anything about him murdering Jason, because he's a political ambassador, so it becomes a geopolitical thing. Yeah, that happened. Okay. Comics are fucking weird. I don't remember if he's involved in Under the Red Hood. I don't think he is.
Because in the Titans TV show continuity, he was actually kind of like the mastermind behind Jason being killed. He brings him back in the Lazarus pit, and then he's like basically like feeding him like reverse fear juice to make him not be afraid. Because Jason was like super traumatized after getting kicked out of the window by Deathstroke. So like he keeps having these like, PTSD moments. So he sought out Scarecrow and being like, you know how fear works. You made the fear juice. Make me a reverse fear juice so I'm not afraid anymore. And that kicked everything off.
So the Lazarus Pit is actually a retcon.
Mm-hmm.
So in the original, the Under the Red Hood movie, they made it so that he was brought back with a Lazarus Pit, and that's why he was kind of insane, because that's how Lazarus Pits work. Do you know how he was?
I assumed, but they never mentioned it in the show.
Well, do you know how he was brought back in actual continuity?
In the comic?
Yeah.
I want to ask, but it's already a compact, and I kind of want to read it.
Okay, well...
Does it matter enough?
Yeah.
Tell me?
I was only going to say it because it's the most convoluted, stupid bullshit you will ever read.
All right.
I'll let you read it first, and we can get... When you
I still got to pick it up, but it is a compact, and I intend to read it. So
okay, when you inevitably have questions, I'll explain.
All right,
because you're gonna read it and be like, what?
On a related note, I also watched the Batman Hush movie.
Did you watch Death of Superman first?
No.
Okay. I guess it doesn't matter that much.
Well, I just watched it because I already read the comic. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I've already heard some of the weird shit they did with this. So I'll just watch this on its own because it's free on YouTube. So
yeah, the problem with that one is the fact that because that's part of the DC movie AU universe thing that they did for a bit. That actually spawns right out of the Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman, but it doesn't matter that much. It's mostly Lex appears for like a minute, and Lois and Clark are there.
Well, Lois and Clark were there in the comic version too.
True, but they kind of referenced the previous dynamic they had.
Yeah, they reference some stuff, and then like obviously there's like a lead up to it and everything. So
what do you think of the?
I know you told me about how the Riddler is just Hush.
Yeah,
in that
they
one,
changed that,
which is dumb. But I mean, the whole idea of like the C-lister fucking villain being dropped in the Lazarus pit or going into the Lazarus pit to like heal his brain cancer and then coming out crazy is kind of interesting. I still think it's a huge fucking missed opportunity not to do the quote unquote Jason Todd thing. Because even though it wasn't actually Jason Todd, I still thought that was a really cool thing to do in the comic.
See, that would have been cool. The problem is that they decided to make that movie part of the combined universe, and Jason didn't exist in that universe
at all. That's weird.
Tim doesn't even exist in that universe. It goes straight from Dick to Damian in that universe. It's weird.
That's fucking bizarre.
You also got to remember though that universe started as New 52, basically New 52 universe, and then it.
Yeah, because it was Flashpoint that started that new movie timeline, right?
Yes, yeah, because it goes into Justice League War, then Batman, son of Robin, son of Batman, the Throwers of Atlantis. There's a whole bunch of movies that are tied to it.
Batman versus Robin and all that. Yeah.
Bad Blood, Justice League versus all those movies are basically tied together.
I'm trying to think. I think Bad Blood is the one I watched. Was that the one where Batman quote unquote dies or disappears, and then
and
Nightwing has to take up the costume?
Yeah,
if
that's the one. It's fine. That whole series, the animated movie universe is fine. It gets better in its second half. Like, Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman is probably the peak in my opinion.
I also picked up for my birthday. I decided to pick up for myself.
Hey, happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
It was.
There was a 80th anniversary of Batman, like 18 animated film collection that I found at Walmart. So I ended up picking that up. I already had like 4 of the movies that are in it, but all the other ones were ones I didn't have. So
I'm guessing it had like Mask of the Phantasm.
Yep, Mask of the Phantasm, Mystery of Batwoman,
Sub-Zero.
Not Sub-Zero. Didn't have that one.
Why would it? So it has the first animated universe one and the third, but not the.
Whatever. I didn't think Sub-Zero was an actual movie. I thought that was like a multi-part episode.
No, that was a movie.
Oh, okay.
Did it have Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker?
I think I have I think I have that one anyway, though.
It's on YouTube regardless, but
it's not Return of the Joker. That one's not in there. It had a bunch of like Son of Batman, Batman vs. Robin.
Did it have Under the Red Hood?
It had Under the Red Hood.
Nice.
I think it had Bad Blood too.
Because that's not on
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke's all right.
There was an animated film with Adam West.
There's 2 of them actually.
I don't know if it had both. I know
they're
both. One.
They're both on YouTube regardless.
And there's a couple of the Batman Superman ones, Apocalypse and another one.
So there's Public Enemies and Apocalypse. Those are
Public Enemies and Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is actually the introduction of Supergirl.
Okay. I think there was a few others too. I just can't remember them off the top of my head, but I'm looking forward to actually like diving in and watching some of those. That was part of the reason I decided to watch Hush, because I got that, and then I was like, well, Hush isn't in here, but it's on YouTube, so I'm just gonna watch it. Fuck it.
Speaking of DC movies, I actually watched the 2-part animated Watchmen film.
The animated. How was it?
Not bad. It's on HBO Max. There's 2 parts. It's like CGI animation, but it looks pretty good for the time.
Okay.
It's basically a direct adaptation. They cut out some stuff here and there, but like for the most part, it's pretty spot on of the whole story. I thought the performances were really good, and it was cool seeing the world like brought to life.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. Especially thinking about it, because I know you mentioned it on the Discord at one point.
I think I had texted you, but I think you might have been busy at the time.
It's possible. It's been a fucking wild couple of weeks.
No,
also, for shits and giggles, I started watching the Harley Quinn show, the animated one.
I've heard that's decent.
I've heard good things about it, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's like one of those adult comedy sitcoms, but it's set in the DC universe, and there's a lot of like stupid little things. Like there's a whole scene at the end of the first season where fucking Scarecrow and Joker have Batman like tied to a post or something. They're like, yeah, we got him finally. Everything's working out. And Scarecrow just like without any warning just pulls his mask off. As Joker's like, what the fuck, dude? Why would you do that? he's like the whole mystery was part of the fun. Now I just know he's a fucking rich playboy with fucking daddy issues or whatever. Like,
yeah. Stupid stuff like that.
He's like, you ruined the whole thing.
Oh, you know what?
And he fucking shoots him in the face. He's just like, fuck you.
Yeah. You know what I also watched? I watched the live action Blue Beetle movie.
Oh, how was it?
Not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, it's not canon anymore. Kind of.
Well, it's canon to its universe.
Well, apparently
I have to look at it, so.
Apparently James Gunn wants to keep the actor and all the people in it, but he's got to reintegrate it into his universe. It's divorced enough that it could probably work because it doesn't really reference any of the other movies. You can clearly tell they were giving up on it because that movie got zero promotion at all when it came out.
James Gunn's just kind of picking and choosing like that because they didn't do the same thing with Peacemaker.
No. Peacemaker technically the first season is part of the original universe, and then season 2 is the new universe.
Yeah, so
I don't know. James Gunn's gonna have to. He's got things to think about. We'll get into it later, but he's got some things to think about going forward.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I've also been plowing through the second Milestone Compendium. I'm pretty close to the end. I've already gotten through the whole Worlds Collide arc.
Nice.
Have you ever read that?
I have not.
The big like Milestone Superman crossover.
Haven't had. At some point I'll read it. It's on not HBO. It's on DC Universe, so I'll pick it up at some point. I've just been kind of.
Yeah, it's like a 14 issue, like big crossover thing, where like some random mailman who like, whenever he falls asleep, he wakes up in the other universe. He falls asleep in Dakota, he wakes up in fucking Metropolis. He falls asleep in Metropolis, he wakes up in Dakota. And he's a mailman in both universes. Like, okay.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden it turns out like, oh, I have godlike power and I can just fucking make anything happen because fuck it. But it's pretty cool though, because it's like, because of the way the crossover works, where there's like, you know, parts of the story takes place in this series, parts of the story takes place in this series. So it's different artists doing it. So you get to see all like the Dakotaverse characters written, like drawn in the Superman style or Superboy style, depending on which one. And then you also get to see the Superman, Superboy, and Steel drawn in the Dakota style. So it's pretty interesting.
Nice. I'll get to that eventually at some point down the line.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode on it at some point.
Yeah, find that out.
But that's been pretty cool. Trying to think if there's anything else in particular I've been up to.
You want to talk about the fucking vending machine ending?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, it definitely seems like it's like the end, right? But didn't we hear that they've confirmed a 4th season?
I never heard that.
I could have sworn that was a conversation we had. I gotta Google this real quick. Just
manga, the light novel got canceled last I checked, so I don't think there's much left, if anything.
Vending Machine season 4. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I guess it is just done. Which I'm fine with. It totally I don't need another season. It got more than it needed already. So
it was on life support by the end of the first season. We just kind of overlooked it. But going back and looking at the end of the first season, you're like, yeah, this show was fucking taking a dump by then.
I mean, I didn't feel that strongly about the end of the first season. It wasn't until the second season really that it started getting to that point for me. But
well, it's more of like you look back on it and you go, yeah, that wasn't that good. I think we just kind of overlooked it at the time.
I don't know.
The early stuff was kind of fun.
The other thing too is it's like, oh, so it's just going to be the vending machine and the punchy girl. they're gonna fucking kill the Netherlord by themselves. And also just like the soft fucking reveal that this other dude who's like the right hand of the Netherlord is also a fucking reincarnated person from Earth. It's like, okay.
Oh, the sentient field or the other?
The other guy, like the demon dude who was like working with Field guy.
Right. Yeah. I really hate the Field. The Field character annoyed the shit.
He's like, whoa, man! It's like,
why is he a stoner?
Machine.
Why is he a stoner?
Like, he's like, I wish I could be human so I could eat some of your ramen noodles.
It's like, why does the vending machine have all the hot babes? It's like,
even though the Field's got a bunch of hot babes too.
Yeah, you have your own hot babes, and one of them's going to kill you at the end of the series, as we find out. What the fuck? Like that ending where he's just like, I can spawn all the vending machines, and I'm like,
cool. Yeah, I can just make a million of me. He learned Shadow Clone Jutsu. That's what happened.
And I guess it's implied he can just temporarily become human now at the end.
I mean, that's kind of what I figured would end up being what worked with him anyway. That he would just like be able to just temporarily like, because I didn't think like the whole like, oh, I'm just human now. I didn't think that was gonna happen. It would just be like, well, I can become human when I want to, and I can be a vending machine when I want to.
Yeah, it was implied that they were going to eventually fully make him human again with that dungeon stuff, but like.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? I'm glad it's over.
We literally watched a show about an anime girl that wants to fuck a vending machine. That's literally all that we watched. That show really wanted to be a slime, like really bad.
Yeah. I've been enjoying slime. I haven't watched the newest episode, but
you didn't miss much. It's they're setting up, but you
was
saw
the meetings, the fucking meetings again.
Not really meetings. It was they were finishing up the Malim stuff, like the whole Malim arc they were on.
Oh yeah, with the dragon. Yeah. Gotcha.
It's mostly setting up for the next arc, because they brought his name's Yuri, right?
Yes, the dude who turns out wasn't being mind controlled and is still a piece of shit.
Just straight up murders. First off, I'm so glad she's gone because she was so fucking annoying.
I didn't like her at all either.
Well, like it was clearly she was set up to be a kind of like a diversion antagonist for the first arc of the season, because the season's apparently going to be stupidly long, what I've heard. But
I'm fine with it. It's cool.
I'm fine with it too.
I don't have a whole lot to look forward to for the summer anyway, so.
Yeah, there really isn't much going on right now.
The fall, on the other hand, there's some good stuff coming in the fall. We got Apothecary, we got Dragon Ball Super.
Apothecary movie got confirmed too. Like we got the release date.
They're gonna do the first half of the season, then they're gonna do the movie, then they're gonna do the second half after that. But yeah, then there's Dragon Ball Super. I feel like there was another thing.
Black Clover.
Like Black Clover, yes. Which looks like I watched that just in time.
Oh yeah, you never had said about the ending. Do you agree that it ends right when it gets fucking interesting?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Like it ends right when you're like holy shit, I'm hyped, and then you're like, no.
Well, that's kind of how I felt. That's kind of how I felt about Hunter x Hunter when I finished it. It's like, okay, well, all right. I guess we'll just stop now.
See, at least Black Clover ends. At least that ends. Well, no, it has an ending. The manga's finished.
Oh well, I mean, Hunter x Hunter is still coming out, and it will eventually be finished. It just
we hope.
Is it going to be him or is it going to be his wife? It's going to get finished though.
Did you watch the movie for Black Clover?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that movie's really good. I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, it was solid. I think at that point though, I was just kind of like ready for it to be done.
Did you notice how Mimosa's VA forgot how to do the Mimosa voice in the movie?
Yeah.
She sounds off. It was so fucking off in that movie. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And it must have been striking going right from the show into that movie and being like, oh. Because I know when me and Alex watched that, it was like when it came out and it was after we had already seen the series and we remember watching, we're like, is it just weird? Does Mimosa sound really fucking off?
Have you heard? I just now, like in the past few days, started hearing about this new anime on Netflix. Chainsmoker Cat. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. I know nothing about it though.
Well, apparently, it's like a really gross show, but it's also references like fucking everything. Like pretty much every scene in the show is a reference to like a famous movie or like a series or something. Like, because I saw like a bunch of like side by side comparisons to like famous scenes in like Pulp Fiction and Stand By Me and fucking all this other shit, like Breaking Bad, like all this other shit. And it's just like constantly referencing all this other shit. Like I feel like I need to watch it.
Oh, I hadn't heard. Maybe I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah, I've heard some weird things about it too, but like I don't know. I'm interested enough. I'm gonna check it out. I'll let you know how the first episode goes next week, because when I looked a couple days ago, there was 2 episodes out in Japanese, and the dub is on Netflix. It says the dub is 2 weeks behind, so the first episode hasn't come out yet.
Gotcha.
But by the next time we record, it should be.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that. I'm just not feeling anime this year. I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm still doing okay as far as like I posted on our little group chat there. For new watches, I'm at 20 right now. So, well, that's kind of a lie. Technically 19, because one of those was the Mystery Dungeon promotional episode thing. Technically, I saw that when I was like 10, but that was 32 years.
If it's like to the point where you barely remember it, I think it counts as a new watch.
I remembered it happened and the Skarmory was there. That's all I remembered.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's been interesting. Other than that, I mean, my ongoings are pretty much down to just Slime and Demons of the Shadow Realm.
I just cut Slime right now because I haven't really. I just have not had the energy to start anything.
I am gonna have to fucking binge through Thousand Blood War. The episode's already there soon, because the part 4, which is gonna be the final part of it, is coming out this month. So I gotta rewatch all that.
I've just been gung ho on comics this year. Like that's been my my thing.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of comics too, and then I fucking picked up Thundercrawler Carl, so I've been kind of bouncing back and forth with those. Which we'll have to talk later about. Did you pick up the comic yet or no?
I haven't been able to find it.
No?
You'll have to send me the link for eBay, because I have no idea what I'm looking for.
We'll just get it on Amazon.
Or Amazon, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay. I also had a shit ton of bills this month because all our excise taxes came in, and holy shit.
Oh, fun stuff. Fun stuff. How bad is that up over in Connecticut?
$400 or something. So not great.
Excuse me. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Graphic novel. There we go. The second one comes out in October. Where's the little thing? It's usually there it is. All right. But yeah, aside from that, I haven't really been doing much else.
Yeah, it's been a slow summer. Like it's been just tiring.
Well, yeah, because it hasn't been like overall, the heat hasn't been bad. It's just every now and then we'll just get a like Tuesday this week is gonna fucking blow. It's gonna be in the 90s, high humidity, high UV, and there's gonna be no relief at night.
Yeah, I have AC going and a fan set up in my room because it's been just so hot.
Oh, that must be nice.
It's
our house doesn't hold AC, so we can't use it.
I mean, I'm cheap, so I keep it at 75 most of the day, most times.
Well, even that would be a relief on those fucking crazy days.
Yeah, I know some people they keep it at like 60 all the time. I'm like, that must be nice, but my God, your bills.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But yeah,
I guess we can probably get into the topic because there's a lot to say about this week's.
Yeah, and we're already 43 minutes in.
Yeah, plus we got our segment, so we should probably. So yeah, we're talking about the movie adaptation of this wonderful book right here.
Yes, and well, first of all, spoilers because we will be comparing it to the comic.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read the comic,
or seen the movie.
Or seen the movie. But
and I can guarantee most people have not seen it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say right now. Which, yeah,
I'm worried. I'm worried for Clayface. I'm kind of worried for that movie now.
Well, I can't say 100% because if Mike Flanagan was directing it, I think it would have a better chance. But at the same time,
they're also not advertising it very well. Like, it's getting about the same advertising as this movie got.
Well, there's that, yes, but also the fact that the vast majority of Mike Flanagan's theatrical releases don't do well in the box office, but they end up getting a cult following afterwards.
Yeah, it's also
like Life of Chuck. Life of Chuck didn't do very well in the box office, but it's like a hugely well-reviewed movie, which, as you know,
it's the problem with Supergirl is it's well, not Supergirl. The problem with Clayface I'm worried about is the fact that it's superhero and superhero adjacent movies aren't doing well right now. It is like aside from Spider-Man and Batman and Superman to a degree, superhero movies no one cares right now. Like, I'm curious how the new Avengers is going to do. That's going to be
at least Clayface is a Batman villain, so Batman may not be evolved, but it is Batman related. So
it's a Batman villain, but at the same time, nobody's talking about it. That's the thing that's concerning me a little bit. Like, there's nothing being said about that movie. Like, I'm not even seeing the trailers for it anymore. Like, it's already like that cycle's already over.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just so just at the start, like, I enjoyed Supergirl.
I did too. I liked it.
It was a fun movie. But
I have problems with the changes, but like
I was disappointed. Yeah, with the changes.
Well, I made the horrible decision of rereading this right before we went to see it because I wanted to compare. And I'm going to say right now, the book is significantly better.
Oh yeah, the book, the Woman of Tomorrow comic is one of my favorite things I've read this year. Period.
Yes, I mean, not even just for Tom King's writing, but the fucking Bilquist Evely's art. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but her art is phenomenally gorgeous in this book.
Oh yeah, it's so bright and vivid, and the movie was just so dull. Like,
yeah,
I've been hearing a lot of the Mad Max jokes with Creme of the Yellow Hills design in the movie, and I
is it weird that his design is somehow he's more designed in the movie, but he's somehow like significantly boringer.
Well, that's one of my biggest problems with Creme specifically. In the book, he was like an enigma, right? Like, we barely saw him until like the final thing.
He was an enigma, and his design was so boring in the book. Like, he's just a random bearded dude.
That's the thing. He was more of an idea in the book. It was a concept. In the movie, he was so active throughout the entire fucking film, but he also was a nothing character. It's like you can be an enigma and just be like an idea and have nothing for a personality. That's fine. But when you're constantly there and most of what you're saying is,
yeah,
that falls flat, like, severely.
I want to say this movie was both, I enjoyed it, but I was very whelmed at times.
Yeah. I do really like, her name is Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock.
Right? I do really like her as the choice for Supergirl specifically.
She did a good Kara. I will say that.
The personality definitely was a little bit skewed from the comic. And like, especially since she was like pushing the whole, revenge isn't, worth it or whatever. But like,
we'll get to it at the end. But
her personality doesn't reflect that at all.
She's a lot less hopeful in this movie than she is in the book. One thing I will say is I don't like a particular change. There's two particular changes to the ending that I really did not like in this movie. Not enough to ruin the movie for me, but they did kind of when it happened. I was like,
sour a little bit. Yeah,
I was kind of like, especially when I find out that the director did not read the book, and it had proudly boasted that in an interview. Oh yeah, like they proudly boasted that in interviews.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, that came out after the fact. That a lot of apparently Apparently, there was 2 cuts of this movie. There was the James Gunn cut, that's the one that was released, and there was the director cut that had like 15 more minutes of footage, mostly involving Krem, which people, when that first came out, were annoyed by. They were like, oh, of course we got robbed of stuff. That probably would have made the movie better. But then it comes out that the test audiences were like, no, you saw the better film. I'm just like, oh, great. Like, so what does that mean?
I will say that was definitely like, because when I first like was going to like look up like the show times and everything, and I saw how long the movie was, and I was like, oh wow, that's sure. Interesting. It's like it's even more than a half hour shorter than Superman was.
That's shorter than most modern movies now.
Now that I've seen it, that was the correct choice. Because if it was any longer, my opinion would be much less of this movie.
So I'll say it right away. Like, they cut a lot of scenes from the book, which is understandable because, let's face it, the entire time when they're on the planet that committed mass genocide, that probably wasn't going to fit in this movie. This movie would have been like 5 hours long if they put everything
Probably
in.
Not, but all the stuff they cut was like the actual character development stuff.
Unfortunately, yeah. That's the problem here. Because unfortunately they were, because of like legit, the book is a space road trip. Like, it is literally a coming of age space road trip story.
They're literally taking buses like from planet to planet until they get to a yellow sun.
Yeah,
like,
we only get one of those, which I will admit was a really funny part of the movie. I did enjoy that scene. But the they had to cut quite a few of the stops, and yeah, it's kind of bummed about that. I get it, because this movie would have been like 5 hours long if they adapted everything, but
for sure. The one thing I haven't heard anybody complain about is Lobo.
Which is funny because he's the completely shoehorned in aspect of this movie.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
That entire planet.
But he's loved.
Because that is literally a perfect casting. Yeah. Like, I always thought Jason Momoa as Aquaman was a weird choice. And I remember the joke was always like, he should have been Lobo. And now we see why. Because holy shit, he was great. Yeah. He added nothing to the movie overall in the plot. Like, he just kind of exists. But
he was just there to be an extra guy to fucking take on the goons.
He was there to boost sales, and unfortunately it failed miserably.
Yeah.
Also, releasing this movie the same week as Toy Story 5 was stupid.
I think that fucked it up even more.
Like, and Jackass Best and Last, because even that's doing better.
I think the Toy Story was the real nail in the coffin there. Like,
it was.
I definitely think the sales would have been much better if it hadn't released the same week as Toy Story 5.
Yeah, but when Jackass Best and Last is doing better, it had like literally a fraction of the budget. Woof.
Have they even met their budget yet?
This movie?
Yeah.
No. It's this movie's doing worse than Morbius.
That's
really
bad.
It's the worst performing DC films since Catwoman.
Hold on. How did Madam Web do?
You know,
that's what I need to know that right now, because if it's doing worse than Madam Web, that's a crime.
That's just bad. that shows that superhero movies are fucking dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made more than Madam Web, but you also have to take into account Madam Web at half the budget. Madam Web made its money back.
Yeah, that's
barely, but it made its money back.
That's really bad.
This movie has. So I'll say what the current numbers are right now. The movie had a $170 to $186 million budget, and it has currently made $115 million.
It's getting there. I don't know how long it's to be in theaters, but
it's coming to streaming in like 2 weeks.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's been pulled from most theaters already. It's done. It's done.
That's awful. Oh God.
This is a sign where I was like, if Avengers Doomsday flops, superhero movies are dead. They're dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Except for Spider-Man, Batman, and maybe Superman.
When's that Spider-Man movie coming out, by the way?
It's either later this month or next month. That's gonna make its money back regardless because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. So
Spider-Man and Batman literally do not count as superhero movies. They kind of transcend that. Like DC could make like the shittiest Batman movie and it would still make its money back.
Yeah,
they did. It's called Dawn of Justice. Anyways, anyways, yeah. So but we're not gonna dwell on the fact that this movie was a colossal failure too much, but like it's very concerning about the future of the DCU going forward.
For sure. I'm still hopeful because at the end of the day, it's still not a terrible movie. There's it's worse.
It's a good movie. The hate is absurd. I don't understand the hate in the slightest.
No, it's getting way overhated. Is it even remote? Is it even in the top 20 best superhero films? No. But it's perfectly fine. Is it going to be a movie I'm going to go back and rewatch multiple times throughout the years? Probably not.
It's better than most of the DC movies released recently. I'll say that.
Well, what does that amount to? It's definitely not better than Superman because Superman was definitely.
Well, no, Superman was great. Not counting Superman or the Batman. I mean, it's better than basically everything since Wonder Woman, I guess. Well, no, I mean, the Suicide Squad was pretty good.
Well, it was also James Gunn.
Yeah. Well, also that was still during like the point where superhero movies could do well.
Yeah. I heard good things about Shazam. I still haven't seen it, but
Shazam I heard was actually Shazam's I think the most successful movie of the previous universe.
Well, either way,
Blue Beetle was good. Aside from bombing, also.
I still have hope for Clayface, but I need to look into who's directing it before I really get my hopes up.
I will say, Man of Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to. It looks really good.
Well, see that's what I really want. Is I want to see this universe's Clark and Kara interact throughout a movie, not just in the end scene.
The end scene in like
video, Skype calls,
the couple cutscene, like little like cameos. Like I did like the. People got really butthurt about the her comment of why is he wearing his underwear outside of the suit. I'm like, well, are we really getting upset?
That's like the most longest standing superhero joke of all time. Like
it was also funny. Why are people upset? People get upset about the stupidest fucking shit. Like I got a chuckle out of that when I heard that line. I was like, that's funny.
No, that was great. Just like the whole scene of him like trying to talk to her and be like, why am I talking louder? She can't understand me. She doesn't speak the language. Like,
I love it. I will say one thing about this movie. It's really affirmed that I love David Corn Sweat as Superman. He is so fucking charismatic.
I wish they had done more with the Argo City stuff too, because I feel like they kind of dropped the ball.
Is it weird how they somehow made it less fucking horrifying in the movie?
Yeah, well, no, because in the comic, like they were actually making efforts to like combat the radiation, but it wasn't working.
Also, in the comic, we literally see them all die. Like we see how it ends. Like in the movie,
she's literally the last one standing, and like
the shield goes away.
One of my favorite things about that is like in the comic how fucking like they're doing the whole like this is what happened, and like they go through the whole scene of them like hammering steel like lead plates into the fucking ground to try and like combat the radiation, and she's like going way harder than anybody else, and the comic's just like casually like she was 14. It's like, oh god, like that's terrible.
Yeah, and also the comic straight up the Argo arc ends with like the shield goes down and it's like, oh, they're dead. Like they're fucked.
Yeah. And also like I feel like Kara was like downplayed in this movie because in the comic when that first interaction with Krem happens, like she's still throwing down. She gets multiple crossbow bolts in the chest and she's still fighting. And they still end up getting away, but she's like a total fucking badass.
In this one,
even under a red sun.
Yeah, in this one, Crypto gets shot, and then she just goes, no. And I'm like, okay, we're doing that, I guess, this time.
I mean, I get it, because that is her only tie to her, like, original life, her original people. But...
True. That we'll get into it later, but there's a change in this movie I also really don't like involving Crypto later in the thing.
Okay.
Because in the comic... We find out later there's a reason there's things about Krypto we find out later in the comic.
Hmm.
The movie, I don't like a change they made. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wasn't crazy with the ticking time bomb like aspect of the story too. It's like we have to get this done in 3 days or he's dead. Like,
well, that was a thing in the comic too, sort of. We'll get there.
Not really. Not when I was
we'll,
reading it. Like,
we'll get there at the end. It's not as downplayed. It's more downplayed in the book because the book is literally an adventure. Also, there's a reason why Kara's not as depressed about it in the book, as we find out later. Actually, do you want me to just say it? Like, why don't you just bring
go
it
ahead.
up?
Just say it.
In the comic, the big reveal at the end that really annoyed me in this movie. The big reveal at the end was Krypto was never in danger. It was all a fucking ruse.
Yeah.
Like, he was fine. Like, he's a Kryptonian. He slept it off. In the movie, no, he was going to die the whole time, which they made it more of a thing. Because in the book, the entire point of the thing is it was literally it was all to promote the journey to get Ruthie. Basically, it was to help Ruthie. The entire reason, like, they even went on the journey. Like, it was all pre-planned by Kara.
You know what this movie felt like? This movie felt like a modern Star Wars movie.
See, the thing is, I liked it, though. That doesn't...
Well... I mean, it did it in its own DC way, but, like, in terms of, like, the structure... And like the whole, like, we gotta go hop on this fucking space bus and go to these different planets and look at all these crazy aliens. It just felt so modern Star Wars to me.
Yeah, I guess it's harder for me to agree.
I did like the scene of Kara playing fetch with Krypto just in space. That was fun.
Yeah, that was the goofy shit like that was cute. Also, this movie didn't rely heavily on jokes, which I do enjoy. That's a thing that the DC, at least like the Gunverse, has been doing that I like, where the jokes are subtle. They're not. It's not like a fucking Marvel movie where they throw a joke at you every 3 seconds because that's all they seem to know how to do.
Yeah. Well, it's also the tone of this movie is very different from Superman. Like Superman,
that is a hopeful movie.
Superman had its dark moments, but it was mostly light. You know.
Well, yeah, that movie is literally hope. It is the embodiment of what Superman is. Like, that's why I love that movie so much.
This movie was clearly going for a darker, more serious tone, which I guess I kind of get just because of the nature of like Kara's life and her personality and everything.
Yes,
but it's something that feels more at home in Gotham than with anyone with an S in their chest. You know what I mean?
It would make sense. See, the thing is, because we're basically taking a book, because the difference is this book obviously has years of continuity behind it. The movie does not. The movie has one film behind it, and a couple shows. Which the other thing too, and apparently this is the director's choice as well. Another thing I am not super thrilled by this director. It was his choice to keep Kara out of the suit for most of the movie. That annoyed me.
It was annoying, but it wasn't a make or break situation. Like choosing to have this no, that
well, because they made a whole big deal about it.
Now I'm just being reminded of Dragon Ball Evolution, so that doesn't help.
Well, also because they make that whole thing where she's all like emo about the suit. I'm like, no, that wasn't her. Like, they're making her like
in the comic, she's wearing it when they meet in the bar.
She's wearing it the whole movie, pretty much. She's wearing it the whole movie, pretty much. Whole book, I should say.
Yeah. I do like the trench coat though. It's cool.
Well, she had the trench coat in the book too.
Exactly. Like the trench coat over the super suit is cool.
Well, because it's cool because then you get the whole reveal when like this when it comes off because it's like Supergirl. Also, so they kept the green sun planet, but I did not like how they handled the green sun planet in the movie as much because they made that the climax, which. Yeah.
And we didn't have like Ruthie fighting off the fucking alien.
We didn't get the greatest line in the fucking book. So we get the whole scene where she explains the whole thing about how Clark was on a planet similar to this, or maybe the same planet, and how like he got taken out in like 20 seconds, and like she's like, oh, but what about us? We got an entire day. Shit. But then we get that great line later where she's like, fucking 25 minutes, fucking bitch. like I love that line so much.
And then it's just like, how long are days on this planet? Like 62 hours. fuck.
Yeah. Because I love how she just basically in the book just fucking calls Clark a little bitch.
Yeah.
Great. Like stupid shit like that. Like that was funny. Like that personality wise. This movie misses a lot of the personality at points.
And that was honestly my biggest problem with the movie, because like, while I definitely think going for a more serious tone works for the situation, there was so many character development bits and like points throughout the comic that just made more sense to include, and they didn't include any of it.
Yeah. No, because it's very. The more and more you read, the more and more it becomes very apparent the director did not actually give a shit about the source material that much.
Yeah, and I did watch a couple reviews on YouTube for this movie just to kind of refresh my memory on some of the stuff that happened, and I heard a lot of people commenting on like it's weird that Kara is into Earth music, but looking back on the movie, like no, that makes perfect sense, because when she first landed and she was having that adjustment period, like getting used to her powers, she was getting the super hearing and she was hearing fucking everything, so she was putting on headphones, listening to music to counteract that. So she should be super familiar with Earth music by this point.
Yeah, and also, why would it be weird? That's a criticism I don't understand.
Well, a lot of people were like, they were comparing it to Guardians, or like, well, it makes sense for Star-Lord because he's from Earth, you know, the whole gun style thing. They're like, it makes sense for Star-Lord, but it doesn't make sense for her. But she's been living because she landed when she was like 14, 15.
Yeah, it's vague.
And they say her age at one point in this movie, don't they? She's like 24, 25. So she's been living there for a while. She bounces off planet from time to time to go party, but she's technically been around on Earth for a bit.
Yeah, it's weird. The movie definitely made her a lot edgier, because she's not that edgy in the fucking comic. She's more,
you know, she's
hopeful,
more Superman-like, but not Superman. Like, she still has her, you know, nah, fuck this kind of situation.
Yeah, it also kind of, a lot of it has to do within the comics. Well, depends on what the current continuity is. I don't even know anymore at this point. In the comics, Clark was already very much established, because they don't really bring it up in the in this movie very much, but there was a whole thing in the books about how when Kara gets sent to Earth, she's technically supposed to be older than Clark, but because of
I was going to ask about that.
It's confusing. It's one of those things because of how she was kind of suspended for a bit.
So in Woman of Tomorrow, was that the case? Like, was she technically older, but
well, she's technically younger than Clark now, but like when she was sent out, she was supposed to be, but because the way time works,
I mean, like, actually older, not like physically. Yeah, she's younger, but
the whole thing's vague. Like the whole thing is
in the movie, they just wave it away by saying, "Oh, she was born after the destruction of Krypton. She was born on Argo City, floating through space."
Yeah,
which I don't know how I feel about that.
That was mostly, I think, to change to fit in with DCU more than anything.
Yes, you don't have to change. I mean, to fit in with one other movie, I feel like you don't have to change that much. It's not like we got a whole lot of Krypton on that movie, so.
Well, they also made a they did also make us a further point of they really are hammering in. James Gunn is hammering in the whole Clark's parents sent him over to be a destroyer.
Was he supposed to be a destroyer, or was he just supposed to, you know,
he was supposed
continue
to
the race?
He was supposed to conquer. That was their whole thing. He was going to conquer them. Well, they
said to spread his seed, right? Like, I remember that.
Well, he was supposed to rule them because he was supposed to be their god, essentially. Like that's kind of what they're implying. It just helps. It just helps that he's Clark. Like he's not. That's not who he is. It's basically Dragon Ball.
Well, when I was when I was watching it, I didn't get the impression that was necessarily what they meant, but that was how everybody was taking it.
Well, this movie kind of further affirms it by that quote from Kara's dad, which I'm still not 100% sure if that's true or not. I think James Gunn is planning some sort of myth arc thing that's going to come into play later. But
the fact that we're jumping straight into another Superman movie,
well, after Clayface, but
yeah, well, Clayface is kind of like that just kind of happened because James Gunn happened to see Mike Flanagan's script and was like, "This is fucking awesome. We're doing this."
See, the thing that I'm concerned about is the movie after Man of Tomorrow, because James Gunn is handling Man of Tomorrow, obviously, and it's got the same. It's basically got the same team as Superman, which is good. The thing that I'm a little concerned about is Brave and the Bold. After it is
that happening? I couldn't remember if it was Brave and the Bold or if it was going to be The Authority.
The Authority appears to not even be listed anymore, so that's
okay.
That's there. Because the movies that are listed now are it's Clayface, Man of Tomorrow, Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, and then an untitled.
That's a choice.
This entire universe is a choice so far, and then an untitled Wonder Woman movie is also in development. There's no actual date on those three though, so who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah, who knows when or if that's even legit.
Well, apparently they've picked the actor for Batman in Brave and the Bold. That's apparently been confirmed. All
right, so we are officially bringing in a new Batman. Okay.
So, well, they didn't say who it was, so we don't know. We'll find out. Okay. The only thing that's concerning about the Brave and the Bold movie is it has the creative team from the Flash movie.
I mean, to be fair, the one good thing about that movie was Batman. So,
and technically, that is the team that made the It movies.
This is true.
So they can make good movies. I mean, we'll see.
And if it ties in with Clayface, it would make sense for people who made the It movies to be involved with that horror aspect of it. I could see it working. All right. Just because they had one stinker doesn't mean they all suck. I mean, did we ever look into what else they did? I mean, the It movies were good. I personally, a lot of people don't like the second one. I like the second It movie. But
yeah, it was the last two things they made before Flash were the It movies. So
okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out if that movie even happens. Because if Clayface bombs, ooh.
Well, see, that's the thing, because that's why I need to look into who's directing it, because Mike Flanagan isn't directing it. He wrote the script for it. They probably have tweaked it since.
James Watkins, what has he made?
In general, Mike Flanagan movies tend to not do great in the box office, but get a cult following afterwards.
So it looks like the person who is doing Clayface did a movie called Speak No Evil, which
I think I saw that. I saw that.
Back.
I thought that was good. It wasn't the best horror movie in the world, but it was good.
They did Bastille Day. That had a $4 million budget and made $14 million, so that made its money back.
Okay.
The Woman in Black.
At least they're breaking even.
Oh, that was a pretty big success. Okay, so it seems like they know what they're doing. They do horror.
At least when it comes to horror, yeah. I wish Flanagan was just directing it, but he's busy with Carrie. And he's busy with fucking. I think he's doing an Exorcist movie, so he's got his hands full.
Their first major film was Eden Lake. So
that sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
It did well, so I guess there's good signs. My only fear with Clayface is the fact that the general comic book superhero movie fan might not be into it because it's kind of a horror movie they're going for.
But the horror fans might jump on it, though.
Maybe. It's going to be... The problem is, though, that's not going to help the rest of the universe.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't see Speak No Evil. I wanted to see it because that's the one with fucking... What's his name? The actor that I really like. James McAvoy. He's
Gotcha.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for that. That looked really good.
It made its money back, so that's something.
It looked really good. I remember Cindy and I saw that, the trailer for it, and we were really interested in seeing it. Especially because James McAvoy, dude can act. Dude can fucking act.
Oh.
Actually, I'd like to see him as Batman. That'd be great.
Oh, Lord. I didn't realize the director of Supergirl made Mr. Woodcock.
My God.
Great. that makes total sense. Oh, and they did the cinematic masterpiece that was Cruella.
Oh, I heard it was okay.
I didn't care about it because it's Disney shit, but
I mean,
it made it.
I
it
don't
did,
really care. I mean, I'm interested enough to see it, but that might just be a side effect of being a parent of a daughter. So
it did better than this movie did.
Fair.
Jesus. So we should probably talk about. So the entire Lobo Planet scene was completely. Basically, they just decided to, instead of covering all those other fun planets, they were just going to do this one generic slavery planet.
Which, yeah, of course. Because, you can't have a movie like this without a fucking, sex slave planet.
I will say I do enjoy the fact that this movie wasn't like Captain Marvel, where they just fucking like aggressively were like girl power, like to the point of it being just stupid. This movie, the thing I liked about this movie is they made Kara actually like a functioning protagonist without needing to be like, everybody, she's a woman. Look. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that. I did, because in hindsight, I really did not like Captain Marvel as a movie. I'm gonna just flat out say it. I did not like that movie.
I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't my favorite.
That's a movie that on repeat watches, I'm like, this movie's bad. I did not like that movie at all.
Kind of think of it. Maybe that should be a feature episode. We'd do like a top 10 superhero films.
That would be an interesting one. See, I also just like my constant, like my thing with Captain Marvel that annoyed me was the fact that like all the people in the media were all like, finally a female-led superhero film, and I'm sitting there like, Wonder Woman's not even a year old. Like, come on. Like, that movie was significantly better.
And that's the tip of the iceberg too, because I mean, like, yeah, X-Men isn't like, it's not like a female superhero team, but the X-Men are led by Storm. Like, Storm is like a major character.
Yeah, but the movies were very much you wouldn't know that because the movies primarily were just like Wolverine.
Well, Wolverine's the interesting story. It's the interesting, I have amnesia, I lived through all these wars.
And
whatever.
Technically, if you want to be technical, Captain Marvel wasn't even the first Marvel movie with a female lead. Because Ant-Man and the Wasp came first.
Yeah, but whose name is first?
Yeah, but she's still in the title. So she's still technically a lead. Either way, though, the marketing for Captain Marvel annoyed me.
All right,
it's also a character I just don't care about. But
we should probably talk about the end.
Was there anything else in between that was worth mentioning?
I think we kind of like touched on everything else in between.
What'd you think of Ruthie's What'd you think of Ruthie's actress?
And the actress is fine. I just wish she was given more to do.
Yeah, I mean, they nailed the whole like annoying younger sister aspect, which I found it entertaining.
I didn't feel like she came off that way in the comic though. Like, she was a lot more irritating in this version. That's unnecessary. Relax, guy. He's still going. What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
I hope he's happy. Fuck was that? Yeah, no, she was a lot more whiny and obnoxious in this movie. Also, the death of her fucking family was brutal in this movie.
The cause of it was so dumb, though. It's just like the older brother just jumps out to scare her, and then fucking spooks Krem, so he just kills them all. Like,
yeah, I was like, oh, well, this is somehow darker but less interesting.
He's literally just sitting in his room listening to music, having no fucking idea what's going on. And then he just fucking pops out to scare his sister, like any older brother would, and fucking dies for it.
Yeah. He was such a nothing character was he even in the comic?
I'm pretty sure it was just her dad in the comic.
Yeah, did she even have a mom? I don't remember.
I don't remember a mom or a brother.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, I don't remember them.
In this movie, it's constantly going on about my family, but in the book it was all about her dad. It was all the dad. So I think it was just her and her dad in the comic.
Yeah, they don't even show that stuff in the comic. The comic just
because in the comic, correct me if I'm mistaken, the reason he was killed in the first place was because some sort of thing about like Krem being like on the government's payroll, and the dad said something bad about the government, so he killed him for it.
Something like that. That sounds like a Tom King plot point.
It was much less like I'm just a random brigand who showed up because I like your swords.
Yeah, it was very much.
Which these are fucking spacefaring people with like fucking ray guns and shit. Why does he give a fuck about a sword?
From what we learned about Krem, his interests are kind of stupid. Krem is definitely more interesting as a concept than an actual villain, because his actual villainous plot is pretty stupid.
I'm just saying, like, if going forward, Kara isn't using a sword, then this whole movie is pointless.
So this whole movie's pointless, basically.
I'm just saying, because
she ain't using a sword in Man of Tomorrow, that's for sure.
We don't know that. You haven't seen
it. I have a strange suspicion. I can tell you.
Just saying.
All right, so let's talk about the ending. So the ending of this movie, they skip all the fun planets and they just kind of end on the Green Sun planet.
Yeah.
Which is sure, whatever. I'm happy they kept the Green Sun planet. Unfortunately, they kind of got rid of everything interesting about it.
Yeah, like the whole fucking Ruthie having to protect her for like however many days.
Because in this one, it's in this one, instead, she gets kidnapped immediately. And I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, she immediately gets taken and locked in a cell next to Lobo.
I will say that was the only scene that.
Fun.
Well, yeah, we got some Jason Momoa like fucking probably ad-libbing, which was fun. He literally had the funniest part about Lobo in this movie is you could remove him from the movie and it wouldn't fucking change anything.
It really wouldn't.
He is literally here just to fucking bring people in, and it failed.
He was just there. He was there for some extra action and for a few fucking jokes.
Yeah, it was basically because they just really wanted Momoa to play Lobo. Like they wanted to make that a reality, and it worked. Like he's great.
And they set the precedent so he can pop up later and just be like, "Hey, I'm here." So
we need him and Soups together because their whole like dynamic is what makes like from the animated series. Like we need that back.
I like did not watch the animated series at all. So actually, I forgot to mention this earlier. I did pick up Batman the animated series again. Picked up where I left off.
Okay.
So I haven't been watching that again. Finally gonna start plowing through that before I lose HBO again. I am looking forward to watching Superman the animated series because I did not watch that growing up like at all. Okay. I think the only thing of that I watched was the Batman Superman crossover.
Oh yeah, where Lois is fucking out of character as shit, but that's besides the point. I'm sorry, I just venting. Now Lobo appears.
Oh, that was another thing too. Sorry to fucking sidetrack again. When I was watching Batman Hush and Catwoman actually pushes her off the building, that annoyed me too. Because in the comic, no, it was just that Lois was struggling so much that she fell off.
Yeah.
Also, Catwoman didn't show her camel toe in this version. There was that one fucking panel in the comic where I was like, what is happening here? Because it was after she had already fallen and she was rescued or whatever. And Catwoman and Lois were just talking. And Catwoman was like doing a handstand with her, like doing a split in midair, essentially upside down. Just like facing her and talking to her like that. Like, what are you doing? Why are you just showing your junk to her? Like,
is it bad that like when you mentioned that I was like, what are you talking about? And then you brought that up. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing. that was called Jim Lee was bored and decided to draw that.
It was one of the weirdest panels throughout that whole fucking comic.
I was legitimately confused for it. I'm like, wait, what book did we read?
Like she's literally like doing like a handstand with her legs like falling straight up, like horizontal to each other.
Yeah.
It's just fucking full on, just crotch to face. Like,
I think it also you also got to remember too in the movie universe, Lois and Clark aren't together. Well, they're only like dating. In the comic, they'd been married for like a while by that point. So I guess. And
what
Lois
does that
also
have to do with what does that have to do with Catwoman's camel toe?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more about the that was just Jim Lee wanted to draw that. I was talking more about her flailing up there in the comics.
Okay.
In the comics, Lois by that point she wasn't putting up with that shit. Like, because comic Lois was not like animated series Lois where she gets kidnapped all the time. Comic Lois is more just kind of like, really, I don't have time for this shit. Like, can we not do this?
But yeah, going back to the actual topic. Sorry, I had to fucking spin off and talk about that for a second because I was fucking.
So that ending scene. So they do the whole breakout on the ship thing, and the fight. The fights were fine. It was an okay conclusion.
No, the fights are fine. I wasn't like the CG was fine. I definitely the Supergirl CG that was handled in the Flash movie was way worse. Like way worse.
Yeah, that's also like just like the weirdest Supergirl because I'm not even sure what that Supergirl was supposed to be.
She wasn't even a character. She was just there to fill the role of Superman and Flashpoint.
Yeah, kind of. God, that movie had made weird choices. Either way, like Kara was fine. I thought her fights were all good. Like I did enjoy how they handled the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the fight ends where he's defeated, and they make a whole big deal about how Ruthie can't kill him, which like in the book was a big thing. We didn't get Kara taking out his entire army up in space while Ruthie just kind of interrogates him on the island this time, like in the book, which kind of a bummer, but I get it because that scene goes on for a long time in the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this one, it's like they finish the fight and Kara's like, no, you can't kill him. You're not a killer. We don't kill. They push that whole thing the whole movie. And then the second Ruthie walks away, Kara kills him. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, no.
I mean, I guess it was kind of revenge for Crypto, but for her, it was like, well, this is a revenge. You just need to die.
I know, but it completely just shat on the entire point of the journey. I was just like, great.
Which, again, that was my big, like, despite everything else I said throughout this movie, again, just want to reiterate, despite all the criticisms, I did enjoy the movie. It was fine.
The movie was fine. I didn't hate it. I just hated that one change. That was my biggest gripe in the movie.
The death of Krem was infinitely better in the comic.
The problem was they were never going to be able to properly translate that because that's kind of the whole way that was handled was more of a kind of it was more of a funny gag in the book than that's a scene that really only makes sense in comics. Because unfortunately we're
just for context for the listeners, all right? It's just right now spoiling the end of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic. So in the movie, as we said, it was the whole like you can't kill him, killing not going to make you feel better, blah blah blah. And she walks away and she stabs him. And that end scene. In the comic, she does the whole speech. We don't kill, whatever. They lock him in the Phantom Zone. And then we get a flash forward to Ruthie as an old ass woman. Supergirl comes back down looking the same as she did when she left. And they're like, all right, it's time. It's been like fucking 200 years, something like that. And they fucking let him out of the Phantom Zone. And he's like on his knees, like begging, like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I'm the worst person in the world. Forgive me. Like he fully reformed.
And she just fucking punches him in the face.
Old lady Ruthie bashes his fucking head in with her walking stick.
Yeah, it just walks off.
Best fucking ending to that. Like, it was fucking amazing. I laughed my ass off when I read that. It was fucking amazing. And I was really upset that we didn't get that in the movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way because the movie's got to be subjected to, it's got to tie in with the connected universe. A flash forward like that was kind of.
It wouldn't have been. The only reason that would be a problem is if they decided to kill Supergirl later. That's the only reason that would be a problem because no other characters were involved. It was completely separate.
Yeah, it also kind of just like, unfortunately, it wouldn't have worked in the movie because we didn't get all that build up. Like, because Krem was such a nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Honestly,
villain.
If you're adapting Woman of Tomorrow, I think a short series would have been like a 12-episode series or 10-episode series. Really, you could do an episode per issue.
Yeah, I mean they could have handled it better. The cuts that they made didn't bother me that much because I get it for a movie. It's more
there's gonna be changes.
It's more the things they changed that bothered me. Like the ending, just car killing bothered me because the whole we don't kill, like that's a whole big thing, and I'm like, come on, you're just literally you've
But
already broke.
in the movie's continuity, it's out of character for her to say we don't kill. She doesn't give off that vibe at all throughout the entire movie. She does not come off as like the we don't kill paragon in this movie. She is not that.
That's kind of just another inherent issue with this movie. Is Kara's kind of character's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like one of my biggest, like, it's like if you're gonna make the choice to make her like that, don't take a step back at the fucking 11th hour. Like you got to just commit to it.
Yeah. Kara's direction was very confusing in this movie. That's kind of, they kind of were trying to stick to the book, but also they wanted her to be more edgy. And I just don't think those two styles clashed very well, or meshed very well, I should say.
I think her performance as Supergirl as the character was perfectly fine. Like
Millie's performance was fine. Like there was nothing wrong with that. It was more just the way it was written.
And also, I never would have guessed she wasn't like American speaking. Like, is she English or Australian?
She is Australian. Yeah, she's from Sydney.
Okay. See, depending on where you're from in Australia, I get confused because depending on the kind of words you say, it's hard to tell. But yeah.
Yeah. Looking at the other actors, they were all fairly whatever.
I mean, what other actors? As far as I'm concerned, aside from Supergirl and Ruthie, it was all just extras. Oh, and Lobo. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I liked David Krumholtz as Zor-El. I thought he was actually more.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
he was better written than fucking Clark's parents were. His Kryptonian parents, not his actual parents.
We'll wait to see where the universe goes. There could be something later on. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Did any of James Gunn's family appear in the movie?
His dog.
Yeah. Oh, Seth Rogen was in this movie apparently.
Yeah, he was the little guy in the bus.
I don't like that guy now as much.
No?
I don't like Seth Rogen in the slightest.
No. Why did something come out with him? Or
no, his sense of humor is just
your preference.
His sense of humor is just insufferable.
Yeah, you're not into stoner humor. That's fine.
The stoner humor was funny when it was funny. Now it's just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, it's not funny anymore.
And now he's old, and now he's an old stoner. Well, no, because Tommy Chong's still funny, but he's like classic stoner.
Yeah, but Tommy Chong has like a vibe. Seth Rogen's just like, like that's his.
Well, we didn't get the Rogen laugh this time, so that's.
Well, that would have killed the movie instantly. Like that would have people would have left the theater because people can't fucking stand Rogen these days.
Yeah, well,
he seems to ruin a lot of things I've noticed lately.
I'm trying to think of it. I think we watched Pineapple Express either on the 3rd or the 4th.
I mean, that was when he was still kind of funny. Since then he's God. Like it's like so bad now.
I still love that movie. The movie's great.
That was when that humor was funny. Now it's like, it's not. Stoner humor is not funny anymore now that it's legal. Like now that it's legal, it's just not funny anymore. It's like whatever. It's a thing that everyone does now, and it's like whatever.
I mean, everyone did it then too.
But I mean, everyone did it then, but there was like
we had to deal with shady dudes in alleys back then.
There was like an edge to it back then. Now it's just like a thing, and it's like whatever. Also, because everyone does it now, but they're so open about it, people are kind of annoyed about it now because people are like it's not funny, guys.
Now it's in the same vein as like after the 90s when the fucking I Need to Lose My Virginity movie was like really big.
Yeah.
Happened a lot. That was a big. It was just American Pie. That was like for like 15 years. That was like a movie that like every other person had to make.
Yeah, and only American Pie was really funny.
Six Drive was okay, but it was mostly okay because of Seth Green.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
He was the Amish dude who was just like, no, I know about all this shit. I'm just gonna fuck with you the whole time. I still see those clips pop up every now and then. It's super fucking funny. Also, they're definitely making other Austin Powers because I keep seeing commercials with the Austin Powers crew. So they're definitely making another one.
God, that modern audiences aren't going to get that. They are not going to get that movie.
Probably not. Not if they make it the way they used to. It's not going to hit the same.
But if they make it modernly, no one will like it because it won't be the same. So they're kind of they're screwed either way.
Then we'll just get a Ghostbusters reboot situation.
The problem they're screwed either way with that. Like,
I'm still gonna watch it, but I love the Austin Powers movies growing up. So if they decided to make another Ace Ventura, like I'd be all over that.
Well, Jim Carrey's honestly more funnier. Jim Carrey is at least evolved with the time.
True, this is true.
I just don't think he's gonna do anything other than Eggman anymore going forward.
We'll see. It all depends. You never know.
Well,
if he sees a script he likes enough, then we'll see.
Well, the only reason he's still doing Eggman is because those movies ended up being such good movies.
Come on, James Gunn. Bring him in as Riddler. Let's do it.
Let's unpopular opinion, but he was not the best part of it. Honestly, he kind of brought that movie down. I'm not going to lie. Tommy Lee Jones played a better Riddler, and he was Two-Face. Like, think about that one for a minute.
Jeez.
That movie's a fucking dumpster. We'll get to it eventually. But
yes, we will.
So I have to talk about the other controversial moment in this movie because it's a controversy that I don't fucking get.
What's that?
Were you offended by the middle cover? Because my God.
I noticed a lot of people are mad about that. It's fine. Whatever.
It was weirdly out of place in the movie. Like I was really confused when that started playing. I was like, okay, cool.
Well, that was kind of midway what I was referring to when I said people are getting mad about her liking Earth music. It was like that was the scene they referenced a lot, was the fucking middle cover.
I mean, I'll agree that the placement of the cover is odd because it really just kind of like happens and you're kind of like,
they probably could have picked a better song for it.
So I hate the fact that the lady that did the cover is getting so much shit because it's fine. Like
the cover itself is fine. It's just that's not the best song they could have chosen for the scene.
I just thought it was a weird choice in general. Like this, I don't know.
I mean, they were essentially mirroring what happened in the Superman movie with the Mr. Terrific just taking out all those guys and Lois in the bubble.
See, but that was in the middle of the movie and was a comedy scene. The part at the end of Supergirl wasn't supposed to be a comedy scene.
True. This is true.
Which I don't know. I feel bad for the artist. Like I didn't get offended by the cover. I just thought it was an odd place to put it.
Man, I feel bad about spending the money on the movie when it was coming out and streaming in 2 weeks. That's fucking a waste of money.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about that. It's probably not helping with the reception going on right now.
Probably not. It's probably preventing anybody else from going to see the movie, honestly.
Well, they've already pulled it from most theaters, so.
Oh, well.
Because most theaters are going. See, I knew it was a bad sign when me and Alex went to see it, and the fact that the theater was mostly empty.
Well, there was a decent amount of people in the theater, but some people did clap at the end.
Not in my theater.
In my theater, there was some clapping hands.
No, in my theater, once the credits hit, everyone got up because it was revealed like before the movie came out that there was no post-credit scenes, or everyone was immediately just like, okay.
I didn't know that, and I waited. And I was a little disappointed.
I should have. I forgot to text you about that because I'd seen that because I remember like the credits came up and Alex was like, "Do you want to wait?" I'm like, "No, there's no credits scene. They were fine."
Yeah, I was a little disappointed about that, but what are you gonna do?
Somehow I feel like that was the director's choice because this director doesn't seem to like to have fun.
No, he just wants to see, punchies and lasers, apparently.
Yeah.
Crossbows, I guess.
I mean, he had did he have crossbows in the book, or was it a bow and
arrow? No, it was definitely crossbows because there's no way he would have fucking landed 3 bullets into her chest before she got a punch in the comic. Otherwise, even under a red sun, because she was still going hard even with those bolts in her chest. Boromir didn't get that far. I know you don't get that reference, but I'm sure at least a couple listeners will get it.
Yeah. I will say I did like the little scene with Kara and Clark at the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. It was nice. Even though I'm not gonna lie, the crypto being a train wreck was getting old by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, all right, I'll let it slide here, but if they keep doing that shit in Man of Tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, all right.
Yeah, because that was the other thing too, is that we already had the whole crypto was in danger thing in the Superman movie, and then we did it again here. It's like, all right, 2 is enough. Don't do it again.
You're running your breakout character into the ground. Chill out a little. Because the scene in the apartment where he trashes Clark's apartment, I was like, okay, we've done this already. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
They don't even seem that perturbed anymore. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if they did like interactions with like characters that haven't interacted with crypto yet, like they did like some like crypto Lois shit, that would be kind of funny because that'd be different. But yeah, this movie I really liked, but I was disappointed after. In some ways.
It had so much potential with the source material, and it's not Dragon Ball Evolution bad, but it could have been a lot better.
They at least, whoever the screenwriter was, at least stuck to it for the most part. It seems like at least James Gunn had enough like overseeing to at least keep them on track.
I'd like to see the original script.
Yeah, I'm curious what was cut.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like when a script is written and a director takes it, changes are going to happen to that script. And I'm curious just how far those changes took it.
So the writer for this film apparently was given the job originally for a Supergirl film for the DCEU, and then was just kind of transferred over to this
DCEU,
the previous universe.
Oh, the Snyderverse.
Yeah, the extended universe.
Gotcha. That's what they were calling it. I thought it was just the Snyderverse.
No, it's always been the DCEU. People just call it the Snyderverse because he made the first couple films.
Too many universes. There's just too many.
Oh my god, the Snyder cultists are fucking insufferable. The amount of shit they're like, see, our universe was better, and I'm just like, guys, it's been 2 fucking movies, and most of your movies were shit.
The funny thing about that is the only movies I've seen in that universe were the Suicide Squad movies and Flash. So I am not the person to comment because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah,
only one of those movies is good, and it was James Gunn who did it. So
well, I've seen a lot of people who are like now retroactively acting like Superman was bad. I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. That movie's great. Like, yes, I think Henry Cavill was robbed of like his chance to actually get to play Superman.
That's why I think they should have him on for Wolverine, but whatever.
Unfortunately, I think he's honestly too old for Wolverine now.
Nah, it's fine. We saw him in Deadpool Wolverine. He's fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Marvel's going to make that decision because he probably cost too much money and he'd want too much control.
They got that Disney money. They're fine.
Yeah, but Disney is cheap as fuck. Like, when it comes to shit.
They let Ryan Reynolds do what the fuck he wanted.
I think that was more of a... There's more to that. That Deadpool and Wolverine is a weird enigma of a movie.
All right. Well, now that we've been going on about Supergirl for an hour, we should probably get into our segment.
Yeah. So Supergirl, good movie, but disappointing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, agreed.
See it on streaming in a couple of weeks because that's already out. To be fair, it's not going to be on HBO Max. It's going to be Prime first, so you're still going to have to pay for it. But
yeah.
But yeah.
That happens a lot nowadays, though. Ever since COVID, that's been happening a lot.
That's why Wonder Woman 84 bombed, because that came out during COVID. And that movie's kind of garbage, but that's besides the point.
I wouldn't know.
We'll get to it someday. I do want to talk about the Wonder Woman movies. But yeah, Haunting on Hill House.
Yes.
What do we call? Oh yeah, I don't remember what the song was, so I'm just gonna pick one randomly.
Okay.
Because I think we've used most of them.
Probably.
I hate all these. Let's just use this one. Whatever. All right.
I think this is the Dime Time song.
I probably used a different one last week, but it's fine. All right. Haunting on Hill House, the second episode.
I forget the title of this episode.
1 second, I'll find it.
But it's the Shirley episode, which should I go ahead and say right now, Shirley is my least favorite character.
She seemed to just whine the entire episode.
She's just like really like.
Open casket. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. I don't want to say bitchy because I feel like that has a negative connotation since it's a lady, but that's how she comes off like the whole time.
She is so whiny in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, literally nothing makes her happy in this episode. She is just miserable the entire time. Yeah. Which, like, the only scene where she seems to have a heart is when she's breaking down later during that scene.
Yeah.
But also when the only really like heartwarming scene is when she's like helping the kid, because we get that little parallel.
Yeah, we get the whole parallel with her in the past at her mother's funeral, and which obviously put her on the path to, wanting to own a funeral home, which why would you want that? But sure.
She's kind of fucked. Like she's a little
fucked. All right. So I'm just gonna get this out right now because this has bothered me since the first time I watched it. Why would you want to be the one to treat your sister's body, your dead younger sister's body?
Yeah. And everybody questions her on that.
Literally everyone, her husband, her siblings, literally everybody in her life is like, don't fucking do that. That's a terrible idea. Like,
that's morbid as fuck. And we
she's
find
at one point she's on a call with her brother while she's literally wrist deep into her sister's chest.
Yeah, and he literally makes the comment because he seems to be like the only sane man at times where he's like, she's doing it herself. What the fuck?
Yeah. Even his fucking his wife, who's he's separated from, who's in the other room, is like,
oh, that was his wife.
Seriously?
Okay. I thought.
Yeah,
so.
That's his wife. And she's like, seriously? Like, what the fuck? Like,
so I'm gonna say right off the bat, the horror scenes of this episode, for the most part, the jump scares didn't really get me. The scenes in this movie that I did not like. I did not like the cat death because I don't like seeing dead cats.
Reasonable.
But also I don't like insect shit and the two bug fucking scenes. I was like, nope.
The cat and the bug together at the same time. I was like, no, that's not good.
I hated that scene. I was like, no.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just like
scary.
The added gut punch of it be like, no, it's alive. Look, I can see its mouth moving. It's no, it's not good.
Also, that fucking bug was huge. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
I did not like that because that was so that like squicked me out so much to the point where I'm like looking around my house like I gotta fucking clean shit. I don't need this right now.
I don't have any bugs around that corner, do I?
That shit. I hate bugs like that. I hate bug horror, especially dead creature. Like when she repeatedly says, "I have to do it." The body was decomposing in like there was bugs. I'm like, no, we don't need that. I don't want to see dead bug. I don't want to see bug decomposition.
No,
thank you.
Well, at least we didn't get too much of that.
We got
a couple short scenes.
We got two fucking jump scares. The same jump scare, just ironically, it coming out of the sister's mouth was less weird. That one was more just kind of like I was like, okay.
I think the cat was worse because it was so small and the bug was like decently sized, so it looked more visceral, you know.
Yeah, then they really held on it crawling up her arm longer than I wanted to. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And so with the constant time jumps here, it gets a little screwy because last week we had the whole scene with Steve and Luke in the treehouse talking about what's her name, the Luke's imaginary friend there, But then in this episode, we actually see him seeing her for the first time, like off in the woods in the distance. So I understand, like, I don't know if it, I mean, you watch Bakano, so you can't be that confused by it, but the whole like back and forth of it can be a little confusing at times about like when certain things take place. And also, I like the scene where she discovers the cats. Where
that
she's like
was
running
a
around.
decent horror jump scare, I will say.
Yeah, she's like running around taking pictures and stuff with like an old Polaroid camera, and like she goes to take a picture in like that old shed she finds, and I guess there's an old wasp's nest that they had built around a Halloween mask, so it had looked like it kind of looked like Scarecrow, honestly, like the Batman villain.
I thought there was just a dead corpse in there at first. I was like, what are we doing?
I also really like the scene in the present where Shirley's son is going on about how he wants to be Daredevil for Halloween. And she buys him like this generic, stupid fucking Halloween mask, which honestly kind of looks like the one she found with the wasp nest around it.
I want to be Captain Lame.
Yeah, Captain Lane. Yeah, I love it.
that was a good scene.
Yeah, that was great.
Why was her son such an ingrate? Like, I just want to say. Like,
I mean, I kind of get it. You know, look. I was the kid growing up, right? At the time that we grew up, I was obsessed with Dragon Ball. I fucking loved Dragon Ball. There were no Dragon Ball costumes back then. Nowadays, you can find any old fucking Goku or Vegeta or Trunks or fucking anybody online for a reasonable price. You could not do that back then.
See, I'm also the kid though that like lost interest in Halloween extremely early. So
That's fair.
Like, I was done with it before high school.
And like, I love that like he goes on about like, no, I want to be Daredevil. Like that's what I want to do, whatever. And she's like, well, you can just decorate it to be like Devil Man. You know, being creative is more fun.
She's doing the most traditional, typical mom shit ever.
But at the same time, she's like the least fucking creative person here.
Yeah, that scene was really weird considering she's got massive wet blanket energy.
Oh, for sure. Well, and like looking back on like the conversation she had with the kid, right? She was just kind of parroting a lot of the shit that the dude said to her at her mom's funeral. And like, I don't want to get into spoiler stuff, but there's a lot of stuff going forward that you're going to see. Like, she just kind of like lifts shit wholesale that other people say and uses them in other situations. Like, it's a consistent thing with her. So the irony of her telling her son, oh, it's more fun to be creative is just fucking hilarious.
Yeah. She does kind of come off as the almighty one at times, which is a typical trope.
And yeah, and clearly she's got a lot of issues with Steven. And it seems to this point that the vast majority of those issues come from him writing the Hill House book in the first place.
Because I was going to say, like, so far he's coming off as the only really sane person in this world.
And that's kind of how he sees it, too. Which I'm sure doesn't help the situation.
Because the other sister seems to just not give a shit at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get more on her later.
Well, next episode is her episode, so
okay,
we will get more with her. And we also get another scene where Shirley, I forget her husband's name, but she and him are having a conversation about the business and how like the business is barely in the black, and she's like constantly giving away fucking like stuff at cost or even less than. And she's like, oh, well, those are special cases. And he's like, no, and it happens. If it happens more than half the time, it's not a special case. Yeah. Which, I mean, I can kind of see both ends of the argument, but at the end of the day, it is a business. You have to run it like a business. You can't sell everything at cost and expect to make a profit.
That's why a lot of businesses fail because of shit like that. You can't have a heart in business, unfortunately.
Not too much of a heart, at least. You could be reasonable, but you know. So like as they're having this conversation, the client, the father of the little boy she was talking to, actually pops in and he's like, "Oh, I got all this stuff from my mom and this and that." He and the husband go off to talk, and as they're talking, Shirley is sitting by herself, and she sees off in the other room a man sitting there with a drink in his hand. And he holds up the drink to her, shakes it, and then he disappears like he's a ghost. And you get like this weird kind of like look on her face, like I got to move on from this kind of thing, you know, like I got to just pretend that didn't happen and just keep going. Another interesting thing that I noticed is that she keeps a model. So I don't know if we mentioned this in the last one, but part of the whole thing with Hill House was Hill House is going to be the last big flip they did. And then they were going to build their quote unquote forever house. And that was like a house that her mother was designing. And that was going to be like the house that they moved into. They were going to build it from scratch. And that was going to be their house that they lived in until they died. And she's got a model of that house just chilling in the funeral home at all times. And there's a thing with this later on. But
I got the vibe that she's got mommy issues.
Oh, I mean, they all kind of do. They all kind of have mommy and daddy issues, but for different reasons.
Her in particular, though, seems to have strong ones. But I'm sure we'll find out more later.
Yeah, well, it definitely seems like she is definitely... I don't know if we got like a wicked lot of it. I definitely feel like Steven was more about his dad. They wanted to be like his dad and stuff. And Shirley seems like she's on the other side of it. Like she wanted to be more like their mom. We also get a flashback of the first time Luke went into rehab.
Oh yeah, the wedding scene. Yeah, that was.
Well, that was a little bit later. I'm talking about when they were in the waiting room for when Shirley and Steven are talking to the lady about like, oh, how much is it going to cost to get him in? And it's like, well, he doesn't have insurance anymore, so it's going to cost $6,000 a month. And we recommend a 6-month period minimum. And like they both kind of had that moment. This is before the Hill House book came out, so Steven wasn't worth shit. And so it was all pretty much up to Shirley to pay for it all, which is kind of what leads into the wedding thing later. But you know, up to this point, we haven't really seen a wicked lot of Luke. Honestly, we've seen more of child Luke than we have of adult Luke.
Yeah, his only real appearance in the previous episode, he's taking stealing shit.
Yeah.
And then this one, he's a train wreck.
Yeah, at this point, he's still like full on, like, you know, active addict. And going into rehab for the first time, which apparently he was like an in and out, like it happened a lot. Which the whole scene later on with the wedding, we might as well just talk about it. Because later on, they're having a whole scene talking about the arrangements for the funeral, and Theo's like, well, what about Luke? Like he needs to be, that's her twin brother, he needs to be there. And she's like, well, he missed her wedding, you know, it's only fitting that he misses the funeral or whatever because he's being an idiot. But then when we actually get that flashback,
yeah, that was not her best moment.
No, he showed up and he wanted to be there for it. Yeah, he was high. I don't know how high, but he was high.
He seemed functional enough that he wasn't going to fuck it up.
Exactly. And like, she turned him away at the door. She handed him $100 and said, take the taxi home, shoot up the rest. I don't care. I'm done with you. Stay away. This is her day. Don't fuck it up.
And by doing that, she basically fucked it up.
Yeah. And like, it was funny too, because like literally the next scene when she goes back to Nell getting ready for the wedding, she even references like, well, this day is almost perfect. And it's very clear that she's referring to the fact that Luke isn't there.
Yeah.
So like, Shirley's definitely one of those people who like, I know what's best and I'm going to fucking force everyone to go along. But really, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
Does Nell's husband appear in the series, or is he just kind of already?
We will see him, yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, wow, they really go out of the way to be like, this guy existed. I'm like, I hope he appears.
Well, this is the first point, too, that we even find out that she was married.
Yeah.
And we also got the whole scene where, you know, she was showing, like in the past, where she was showing Nell how to feed the kittens.
Yeah,
and
that
then
scene
shortly
was
after,
also disturbing on many levels.
and we also got the scene with like Shirley's just asleep, and then Theo comes in and she's like, "Why are you banging on my wall?" And then they both hear the banging from the room, and fucking the dad comes in and just fucking is like, "Oh, it's old pipes. It's old pipes. Don't worry about it. It's old pipes."
Yeah, old pipes, all right.
Because that's what old pipes sound like. Which that is actually one of the few things that is lifted straight out of the book. Because I mentioned it in the first one. This is not an accurate representation of the book.
Yeah.
But the way that Flanagan fucking when he takes something like this, or when he takes like the Edgar Allan Poe stuff or Christopher Pike, and he turns it into a miniseries, he does it in such a way that even though he does not follow the script, it still comes out fucking amazing. You know, and he finds a way to, and this is like the one exception, but with Bly Manor, with Midnight Club, with Usher, with all those series that he's done, he's pulling not just from the original source material, he's pulling from multiple other works of the same author and weaving them into the story. And he does it in such an interesting way. This is the one situation where he doesn't do that. He kind of sticks strictly to Hill House and just kind of puts his own spin on it. But so yeah, we get the whole scene where they're at the we got the kittens die, right? Or at least the first of them.
Yeah, and that one's head.
And we get the whole bug scene.
Rolls back. It's great.
Yeah. And then after that, we get the scene of the grandmother's funeral for the little boy, and she's basically just parroting all the shit that that dude said to her at her mom's funeral. Because we kind of get like flashes forward and back with that, like throughout that whole scene. We're getting like bits of her mom's funeral, then bits of that funeral, and it's almost a 1-for-1 in a lot of ways. And then we get the whole scene where she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking take care of Al myself," and everyone's just like, "No, that's a terrible idea," but she just goes ahead and does it anyway.
Also, I gotta say, the scene when she's down there working and her kids show up right outside the door, I'm like, yeah, it's great. Just children right by a fucking corpse. Like, that's lovely.
The corpse of their aunt.
Yeah, who they apparently had a relationship with.
Yeah. Although I think, obviously with her living there, obviously they're closer with Theo. Nell lives across the country, so it's a little bit. That's one of those more like, you know, Christmas aunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they had the.
Okay, go on.
No, you go.
I've already forgotten. It's okay.
Okay. But yeah, she has the whole conversation with them about, you know, though. I mean, obviously they have a basic understanding of death, living at a funeral home, but basically just talking about how, you know, the process of how it all works. Like, she didn't go into super detail, but she did explain to them, like, you know, I gotta do all this stuff to her to make her fit for the funeral.
Yeah, she told more to that random child that wasn't even hers about how embalmment works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't have to do with the consequences with that kid, so. Yeah,
I'm gonna traumatize this child and let the parents.
But that's another thing too, is the kid's like, yeah, so like my grandmother just kind of like shows up on the end of my bed at night and is like clearly haunting me, but we're just gonna move away from that. That's fine.
It's not important.
No, it's not important at all. So like as she's working on the body and everything, like she goes to walk out, and then she's coming back, like she hears something and she goes back in, and her mother is laying on the other slab.
Well, yeah, she turns the lights off and like they just all of a sudden appear.
Yeah, and she's got the box that the kittens were in.
And it meows.
And it meows. And
I was like, no, thank
Which
you.
is also, I think that's also a reference to a movie that he did previously. There's a movie he did called Gerald's Game, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel that he did for Netflix. I think it was the first thing he did for them. And I think that might be a minor reference to that as well. Because there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing with a box, a very similar looking box in that movie as well. And he does like to do that. He likes to bring stuff in from his previous. Like, I don't know if we would have seen it or not at this point. There's a movie he did called Oculus, where the whole thing was about like a haunted mirror, and that mirror appears in just about everything he's ever done. Like it's usually in the background, just like under a sheet or something, but it's always there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's basically what the episode ends.
Oh yeah, there was that scene too with Shirley complaining to her mom about the cats, and her mom has the migraine because Shirley's being a little shit.
Yeah, we forgot to mention the whole conversation between the parents about like, well, we could have handled this better. Oh no, he's like reading a book and he's just like casually just like, wish I could have been part of that conversation. And she's like clearly fucking pissed off at him for saying that. Like,
yeah, is the migraine thing going to come back later? Because it seems like they highlight. Okay, that seems like an important thing.
That is important because I won't go into it too much, but Theo has some extrasensory perception. And
yeah, I kind of got that vibe with the gloves.
That's what the gloves are for.
Yeah, I got that
because it's tactile related. And it's very heavily implied that their mother shares that to some degree.
Gotcha.
So there's some level of that as well. But yeah, so that was a open casket. Again, not my favorite episode in the show. But
you don't like bugs and cat death. You're not gonna like this episode.
No, from the next episode onward is when I start to really like. That's when the show really fucking glows for me. Like the third episode, the fourth episode, the fifth episode are fucking. It's such a great little like trilogy of episodes. It's fantastic.
Okay, good to know. All right, well, that was the segment for this week. Yeah, so that was a 2-hour episode. I hope you guys enjoyed our thoughts on Supergirl. And yeah, it was a movie, all right. Let's see how it goes.
It sure was. I don't think it's as bad as everyone is saying it is, but it definitely could have been better.
It's not, but it's also doing worse than Morbius and Madam Web, kind of.
Which is sad.
Yeah, that's not good. The truck can't believe it. All right. Well, until next time, guys, anyways, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. So you can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. Check us out on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find a whole bunch of different videos, blogs, podcasts, a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. And yeah, until next time, guys, thank you for watching, listening, and we'll see you all later.
Have a good one.